Hello! So today's video is a discussion video. I don't really do that many discussion videos on my channel, but I thought this one needs to be discussed. Now, I've been reading a lot of historical fiction recently and been enjoying some, but some I've had some real issues with, and that's why I want to discuss today, because I don't want to do lots of negative reviews, because the problem with all these books for me is the same problem. So I just wanted to discuss it and I wanted to get your guys' opinions. So let me know in the comment section and what you think. If you think I'm completely nuts and off my head, or if you agree with me, because it'd be nice to have someone that agrees with me for a change. So I'll show you the books that I've been reading recently, but these aren't a review. It's not reviewing them. These are just the books that I've been reading. So I've been reading The Sixth Wife by Susanna Dunn, which is about Catherine Parr, and when she's married to Thomas Seymour. And what this book does is it imagines an affair between Thomas Seymour and Catherine, Duchess of Suffolk, which was Charles Brandon's widow, which Susanna Dunn completely admits to. So there's that one. Another one is also by Susanna Dunn, and it's The Queen of Subtleties, which is about Anne Boleyn. And it is an Anne Boleyn. It is on Anne Boleyn, but it's not. This is on Anne Boleyn. Then I have Mary and Elizabeth by Emily Purdy. This, I really like the idea of one chapter on Mary, one chapter on Elizabeth, but yeah, it's very much biased towards Mary. Elizabeth doesn't come off in the best lights, and there's quite a few sexual scenes involving Elizabeth, which I found a bit distasteful. And then finally, I reread The Other Boleyn Girl by Philippa Gregory, because I did a video, a haul actually, in which I hauled one of Philippa Gregory's newish books, and lots of you didn't agree with me, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to reread it and see if I still feel the same. And I do. I didn't like the bit with Anne and her brother, or the Anne and the witchcraft. I just didn't like that, so yeah. So these are the books that I've been reading, and as I said, these aren't me reviewing them, because for me, despite the fact that they've all kind of got individual flaws, you know, they've added an affair in, or they've added sexual scenes in, or the writing is just doesn't work. Fundamentally, they've all got the same problem. And for me, the problem is that regardless of the fact that it is historical fiction, I'm very aware that it is fiction, they all seem to have changed something so dramatically that I think it's almost disrespectful. For me, if I was writing historical fiction, I don't think I ever would write historical fiction, but if I was, I would think of a time. I mean, all these are based on the Tudor period. The Tudor period is exciting enough without having to, you know, make stuff up and add stuff in. But I would get that period, I'd write down what area in which I wanted to do. So maybe I wanted to talk about, I don't know, Prince Arthur or something, or Edward VI, or Anne Boleyn, whatever. And I'd write down a kind of brief timeline of the area in which I've covered, dates and things like that, and jot stuff in of what happened during those dates that we know of. I'd also take page by page and write the person on the header of the page, and I'd just list everything about that individual person, and then everything else is just kind of cramming common sense thoughts, feelings about what was happening at that time. So you might want to do, I don't know, something about the death of Jane and Henry VIII's response to it. Well, he's not going to be dancing around a maypole. He was very distraught, and we know that. There is evidence to support that, so that's what we should write in, so to speak. That's how I would do it personally. But it feels like what these people have done and what other people have done, it's not just these people, but what some authors of historical fiction have done is they have taken this and thought, no, it's not interesting enough, let's add more in, or let's make the writing style seem very modern. As if you've read any Susanna Dunn, she does change the writing style, and she lets you know that she prefers to do that writing style. And for me, it just doesn't work. And here's why. For me, all these people that feature in these books are not characters. They are real people, and they have had impact hundreds of years ago. They have impact today. I mean, if I walk out of my house, I will be faced with Tudor and Elizabethan buildings. My religion, for instance, I'm Church of England. The Reformation, something that occurred in the Tudor period, is something that's, you know, the fundamentals of today. So I think because almost that, you know, these people have been fictionalised so much in TV, in film, in book, that actually we almost forget that they were real people. And we almost do think of them as characters now. But I think with a good historical fiction book, you should be able to take that book and give it to said person. And that person featuring that book should be able to go, yeah, you've made a few mistakes here and there, but fundamentally, yeah, that's right. And I don't think with any of these books, and also with other books, that the people involved would actually be happy with them. I think as an author, you have a duty of care to the people in these books. They can't speak out for themselves. They've been dead a long time. And I think you've got a duty of care. Reason being is for the people that are reading them, their readership. You know, if we think about people who read historical fiction novels, there are a lot of people who read them. There's some people's guilty pleasures, and it's definitely one of mine. And there are some people who will read historical fiction, and that's as far as they go. That's as far as they go in history. They won't go and read the non-fiction, which is a bit sad. But therefore, you have a duty of care to provide people with as close to historical accuracy as possible. It's very important, I think, to learn from history, and I think more politicians should study history actually, to make sure that we don't make the same mistakes again as time goes on, and we learn from the mistakes of the past. I think history is a very important subject in which people should learn from, and therefore, as I said, I think there is a duty of care, and I think you should make it as historically accurate as possible, even though, you know, you are going to make some scenes up, or a conversation that never happened because it fits in better with the book, or if so-and-so is at such place, but actually you've written it in a different place. What does that hurt? That doesn't hurt. But writing an affair, which never happened, writing a sexual scene for someone who's meant to be the virgin, you know, and it wasn't just one, over a few. That's my issue. You know, if people are only reading historical fiction, let's make it as accurate as possible, because honestly, I have had people that have read The Other Boleyn Girl, and they have come to me and they have spoken about the fact that Anne was a witch and the fact that she had sexual relations with her brother, and I was like, oh, no. But they don't want to read non-fiction. However, I suppose the upside of this is that a lot of people will go and read the non-fiction because they want to learn about whoever it is. They want to learn about Anne Boleyn, or they want to learn about Henry VII. They think, oh, this is interesting, I'll go and learn about them. So that is the upside. So what I'm trying to say is, for me, I think history is exciting enough without changing it. So yes, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I am very much aware that it's fiction and some things will change, but you don't need to add in sexual scenes. You don't need to make an affair up. You don't need to change the writing style and make it not feel like the Tudors, you know. It should read how it should be, almost. It should read like the past, I think personally. But that's just my opinion. So let me know in the comment section if you agree with me. If you don't, be interesting to discuss. And actually it'd be really interesting to know if any of you do agree with me, because that's always nice. So I hope you enjoyed this video, a bit of a different one. I hope you're all having a lovely day, and I shall see you soon for my next video. Take care. Bye.